Welcome back to Mixus, everybody. I am your DM, your drunkle Levi, where we got Lucas Little playing Quinn. Or
Hello.
Why do I call you Lucas? You're Utty.
I don't know. Utty. Hello.
Yeah.
I am Quinn Dastard. King of time. Ruler of... I'm
You'll
just
have your
a
time.
humble archaeologist wizard.
We have Shane Pressler as Ash.
Hey. God damn it.
What's with the smolder too? Like,
It's
girl.
Sorry, I'm trying to be in character.
It's just going just to get that saw girl.
They call that blue steel.
Gonna speed run through that intro.
Yeah, freaking watching too much Pattinson as Batman.
Yeah, right. You're not my dad.
You're not my father.
We got Christopher Chaddick is Micos.
That is me. Sassy, smoky, saucy.
Oh, I like that. We got the lovely Alyssa as Akusta. Yes, because she's mute. Use your telepathic powers. Do it. Do it.
Yeah, no one here realizes that this whole time Akusta actually has a very deep southern drawl. And we're never gonna find it.
Howdy, y'all. My name's Akusta. Alrighty. Well, with that being said, we have our players together. We have everything. We have our drinks. Christopher, why don't you lead us away with our recap? Now, what is this recap going to be?
A recap? It's
Okay, good.
So it's not like a letter or a journal or...
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm just getting straight recaps.
That's totally good.
If you want me to zazz it up, I'll zazz it next time. But...
You don't have to. Okay. Only if you want to.
Okay. For now though, here's what we got. When we finished session 5 last time, we just fought these terrible beasts. But session 6 started off. We woke up in the morning. We were happy, our new level. But there was one thing that was a little bit off. Akusta was feeling ill, saying that she felt drained because she was drawing magic from a different source. Ash tried to be very helpful. Quinn tried to be very comforting for someone feeling ill. Micus is a germaphobe, so he immediately vacated the premises, and he stayed that way. He tried to basically avoid Akusta almost the entire session. Downstairs, we got out of bed, we went down, and we learned some things. Crisp Mooneybags, the multi-billionaire tech magnate that we received a lab tour from, has gone missing. Where he went and who took him, at this time, nobody knows. There was some suspicion that maybe his mansion would be abandoned and there might be heaps of things there, but we were politely encouraged by Garrett, the wizard, to maybe do a little recon before we break in to the house of the wealthiest man in the world. Following that, we basically had a lot of lab time. Quinn was able to work on his spell ring, not only refilling it, but moving it to his foot so he doesn't have to brandish a ring on his finger anymore. Micos had a lot of different projects going on. Got everyone some ink and new tattoos that were loaded with a first level spell that they get to use once a day. He also got a new beefed up blaster. And things were looking really good. But we ran into some choppy area when it came time to decipher just what in the world our cursed crown is. We knew that it was accursed, and we knew that it was on a crown. We found it on a zombie a couple days prior, but we didn't know what it was about. Well, turns out, Sadie did. It was originally her father's. Then it became her uncle's after he got this, the Mufasa treatment from his brother. Well, after that, and they killed that uncle. It seems like an old friend of theirs named Malik, I believe. He put it on himself. But In the ensuing fight that came out, Malik's body was recovered, but the crown never was. How we found it and who it was on, at this time, we still don't know. Furthermore, Ash and Mykos had a bit of a spat. Ash, being the cautious sort, saw this cursed item and says, no thank you, gots to go. But that wasn't really good for Mykos, because he's curious if this thing promises such great power in exchange for curse, and we know what the curse is, what's the power? This is treading dangerous water as far as Ash is concerned, so a little bit of a disagreement there. But we committed more or less to go check out that castle again at the next available opportunity. But before that, more important things needed to be done. Cookies! We had to collect some hard-to-find ingredients, and it took us a lot of doing. Ash went and gathered acorns in the forest. Garrett provided some acorn flour. We tried to make a few substitutions here and there, but eventually we made some delicious cookies and shared them as a group. Thus ended Session 6.
Yes. And I'm just going to say this really quick because technically I messed up and said that the deer hide or whatever, deer tallow would show up the next day, but we made the cookies anyway. So I'm just going to say that the deer tallow, we're able to get it to you like that same day, like speed rush it. Also, yes, that all happened and that was very good. And I like it when you recap it, Chris, because it makes me feel good. I'm like, oh wow, that sounds nice. Instead of just me sitting here and be like, and this happened, and this happened.
And then
And then
also, both Akusa and Ash received letters from different people to meet up at different locations. Completely separate. But yes. So, now we wake up that next morning.
So,
yes.
The three of you guys drank last night. Or, did you drink last night, Mykos?
Mykos doesn't drink.
So basically,
now I have to say I do recall Mykos and Quinn doing shots while Ash was working and also doing shots.
I'm picturing Mykos just throwing him over his shoulder.
Perfectly good waste of an appletini.
What the shots were? I think that's the question. He doesn't take shots. It was clarified butter.
So
I like the response that got.
I'm gonna roll a Constitution for myself so I don't throw up.
So
a 9.
My question is, what are you guys like when you drink?
Ash actually gets more chatty. That's why he doesn't drink very often. But he gets chatty and feels more comfortable with people around him.
Quinn tries to be everyone's friend. Everyone. He wants them to be friends. And not disingenuous being a little turd monster or anything, but legitimately wants everyone to be his friend.
Just becomes a huge smoocher.
Mm-hmm. Just the most lovey, happy drunk you've probably ever seen in your entire life.
I love you guys.
So if Akusta was not sick the night before, she would have drank too. And I think she has a very similar drinking style to Quinn, which doesn't work out very well for her. She'll try to talk to people without any regard to whether they can handle it, and she ends up hurting people, so...
I throw an elbow into Garrett, and I'm like, hey, look at that little gnome go. He holds his liquor pretty good for a 14-year-old.
That's another thing, too. As I was listening to the last couple of sessions, I'm like, he is 14 years old. What is happening right now?
Yeah.
No, you don't understand. Gnomes live for a very long time.
Do they? I don't think they do.
They
do?
They
Okay.
live for a long, long time.
I don't think that makes a difference, but...
I think that makes
doesn't.
it worse.
This
It
is
actually
also
makes it
medieval times.
The opposite. It's past medieval times as well.
beer is safer to drink than water.
That is kind of true.
I think that's just something alcoholics tell themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Don't
I mean,
judge
when you have
Lycos.
when
Did you
have a
know that until the late 1800s, beer was the drink of choice for breakfast in the United States of America?
I think you
Yes.
shared that in a previous session.
Yes, you did.
That was just
I think you.
right over my head.
Rock gnomes live to be 500 years old.
Okay, good to know. So yeah, it's actually way worse. You're actually
yeah.
like 5
Super
years,
worse.
like 5 years old.
They don't basically become adults until 40.
Yeah, yeah. So your guys are dealing with a toddler.
You know what? That makes a ton of sense.
Yeah. It makes so much sense why I'm just sitting
Like,
here just like why?
Ash is just sitting there going like, so many things make sense now that I know.
Finally, Ash does all the math, like all
Yeah.
the equations. Probably like, wait
Yeah.
a minute.
It's that meme. It's that meme of the blonde lady just with all
Yeah.
the equations above her.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah.
You guys are running around with an alcoholic baby.
It's funny at first, and then
and then it
somebody's
just becomes
TV
sad.
And then at some point, you take your eyes off them, and they put on a football helmet and run straight through your plasma TV. Anyway,
Life goals checked.
So, Akusta is normally the type of person to just lay in bed until the last possible second and then just roll out of bed and show up. But this morning she's up way earlier than you guys and is writing letters.
do we know what these letters are to, or who to?
Maybe someone should ask.
That's like, so Ash kind of is gonna wake up and roll his shoulders and crack his neck and just be like, Acoustic, what are you, wow, you're up early, what are you up to? You writing to somebody? Family?
Akusta takes out a separate sheet of paper and writes, "Feeling all right?"
Oh yeah, I'm fine. I just need some water. I'll be alright.
She writes, "I have a business to run, and I have family expecting me. I am very far away from home, so I'm letting them know where I am and asking for help."
That's really smart. I'm gonna go downstairs and get some water. Do you want anything? How are you doing? Like, you weren't feeling good yesterday.
Feeling way better. I'm back to normal.
Okay. You want anything from downstairs?
Yeah, grab me another cookie, if you would.
Alright. Sounds good. And then Ash kind of, like, puts his boots on and grabs his cloak and all of his stuff and just, like, gets ready for the day and, like, walks downstairs.
Nice. Okay. So as you walk downstairs, it seems to be like pretty empty. Like it looks like the people that live here are still in bed or at least still in their bedrooms. But the door's locked and it looks all like still kind of trashed from the night before. But yeah, you can easily go over to, there's a little spigot with some water that you can get with a glass, and there's some cookies on the counter as well. Roll an investigation check, actually.
Alright. So, just as a character note, Ash, on his way, anything he can touch, like if a chair's knocked over, he'll write it and put it up against the table and stuff, but he's not going to go out of his way to clean. He just like cleans on his path as
Nice.
he's going to get the water and the cookie.
He's like a Roomba.
Yes. So that is would you said investigation?
Yeah.
That is a dirty 20.
A dirty 20. One of the cookies, there's at least probably like another dozen cookies out. But one of them, all of them actually, have a little bite taken out of them.
Aww.
Frickin' Quinn.
It's not small enough to be Quinn. It looks like a rodent of some sort or a smaller creature.
No.
So Ash will take the cookie that has the least amount bitten out of it, and he'll use his dagger to like trim it to where it's like, and then Ash is gonna do that for two of them. He's gonna take one for himself and then bring the other one up to Alyssa. Or sorry, Akusta.
Roll right. 2 sleight of hands to see if you don't freaking like crumble the cookie.
All right. So
you got that new and improved modifier.
Yeah, I know. So, that's a 24 for the first one.
Nice.
And a 24 for the second.
Nice. Okay, I was gonna say if you rolled like below a 5, you just like crumble the cookie.
Yeah. I rolled an 18 both times.
Nice. So with that modded 20, you turn around and there is a familiar figure, a familiar face in the corner behind some flower, chewing on a cookie. It's our old pal Nut Nugent, who no one has seen for the past couple days, and he's just chowing down. And he spots you, and he's like,
"Hey, Nut Nugent, dude, are you okay? I haven't seen you in a while. You doing all right?"
Yeah, I'm doing good. Just having my breakfast.
Do you want to
get out of my
upstairs?
office?
Dude.
I'm just messing with you. Come on, let's go.
Just try. Yeah, do you want to come upstairs with me?
Yeah.
And he hops up on your shoulder.
All right. Hey, man, so future reference, don't take like a bite out of every cookie. Just take one cookie.
Why?
Because then you're not an asshole.
But being an asshole tastes good.
Gross. All right, let's go back upstairs. And so, like, Ash is going to take the 2 cookies and him back upstairs and give the bigger of the 2 cookies to Akusta.
Very nice.
She signs thank you. And just continues writing. And at this time, she's folded one up and then she's starting on the second one.
At this point, Nut Nugent is just kind of sitting on the desk watching Akusta, watching you pen, and he is still just munching down on that cookie, and he's just like getting crumbs all over the paper and all that.
Akusta pretty much just ignores him and brushes the crumbs off.
Okay. What is everybody else doing this morning?
Maikos, in canon, it's established. He sleeps in.
Yeah.
And I imagine eventually he wakes up to the sound of nibbling and pen scratch, and he shakes Quinn out of his snuggie. And he's going to get up and start his day. He's going to make one last tattoo.
Nice. For himself, correct? What does that tattoo look like? What he does...
Mike Tyson right across his forehead.
Mike Tyson.
He takes his bauble, his glass bauble, and he pokes it into the back of his hand. And a shield emblem grows across the back of his hand and seems to wrap in chains up his forearm. And he just gained 1 use of the spell, Absorb Elements.
Cool.
I honestly cannot remember what spell I took for my first spell slot.
Longstrider.
Longstrider?
Yeah, you're gonna be Sonic. Remember?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. You every time you use the spell from the tattoo, every time you smack yourself on the ass, you turn into Sonic.
Red shoes, white gloves,
and you turn into Sonic.
And
I'm not saying like no, you look a little, you just literally turn into Sonic. Literally.
You're too slow.
Yeah.
You're too slow.
I can't read my handwriting. What was the one that I got?
You got 1 use of Arcane Weapon. Yours is a concentration, so once you use it, you have to maintain concentration.
And it's 1d6 of elemental damage per... Okay.
And for the love of God, don't pick acid. That's my
It
element.
was,
All right.
it was
Yeah,
overdone
no.
in the 60s and 70s.
There are bands named after strains.
Mm-hmm. I'm aware. Quinn, what about you?
After being very rudely awoken out of the Snuggie, Quinn probably just moseys around, does his yoga, does his deep stretches with the yellow short onesie with the button undone so you can see the tramp stamp, and just kind of gets ready for the day and peeks over at Akusta and goes, what you doing over there?
She writes to Quinn, I'm writing a letter to my parents. They're expecting me, and I'm writing a letter to my neighbor. Do you have anyone you need to write to? We got kidnapped, and I don't want to be here any longer than I have to. I don't want people worrying about me.
I'll have to think about that because not a lot of people do worry about me.
She writes, how could you say something like that? What about your family?
I know what I said. It's hard when someone doesn't care about you. I don't follow the rules of the family, so why would they care?
She ponders that a moment and then writes, maybe you should write them anyway. You never know.
I'll consider it. Thank you.
When Quinn says this, Ash is kind of just like sitting on his bed, like crisscross applesauce, just kind of like meditating, and his head just kind of like jerks up and like looks at Quinn, and he's just like, huh, all right, and it just kind of goes back to just chilling.
Does that mean of all of us, Akusta's the only one on good terms with her family?
Oh my god! Our party's a bunch of edgelords.
Akusta just looks around kind of sadly at everyone.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like Ash's family just disintegrated. Yeah.
Well, also, think about when you're young, angsty, and you think no one cares.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, he's a preteen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
So Akusta writes to Quinn, for what it's worth, I haven't known you long, but I would be worried if you went missing.
Thank you. And I love you.
Akusta just kind of grins and goes back to writing.
and then Quinn puts his headphones back on and is like, I'm just a kid and life is a nightmare. So, you guys all kind of, eventually, I think you guys all get yourself worked up or woken up, I mean, and there is a knock on the door.
Hello?
I'm gonna go answer it.
Akusta goes too.
So you answer it, and it is Evie. She's standing there, and she just kind of waves. She's like, "Hi, so good morning. And is there? I'm gonna cut you to the chase. What do you want to do today?"
Zombie Castle? Guys? Zombie Castle?
Yeah, I don't know. That, and I would also kind of like to stake out Mr. Mooneybags' mansion, see if anything's going on inside there. Maybe no one's in there. Maybe they're not guarding the inside since no one's in there. And if we can find a way in, there might be information and things to steal.
Whatever.
Akusta just holds up her two letters and just kind of like peers over Evie's shoulder like, I gotta go.
Evie just kind of steps to the side like, all right, of course, just seeing what everybody's up to, and she takes her notepad out and writes something down and walks away.
So we're gonna stake out for a robbery.
Hey, Evie.
Go into a
what did
zombie
you just write
castle.
down?
Stop at the post office first.
She shows you literally like a to-do list of things that she has on her paper, and it's just one thing is see what the gang is up to.
Okay. Evie, I'm going to give you a piece of advice that has never failed me. Always in cash, never on paper.
Okay. She just kind of she shrugs and she's like, "Good advice, thanks," and she walks away.
So it sounds like she's not going to crumple up that paper to
I was
cover
like,
our
hey.
tracks for us.
Okay.
All right. So what do you guys want to do? There is the castle that you guys were talking about to kind of see what's going on with that. There is also Mooney bags. I will have to remind both Akusta and Ash that you do have those letters saying that you have to meet up with people later that night. So
that night. Okay.
yeah. So you could, let's see, what time is it today? What time is it right now? It is 2 p.m.
Everybody was hungover.
Yes, exactly.
All right. I would say let's I got someplace I gotta be later on this evening. Maybe we could just do a walk by of both places. Just kind of stake them out for an hour, half an hour, hour and a half. Just watch the goings and comings of the places.
Just a little quick
both-
look-see.
Yeah, both the castle and Mr. Mooneybags' place. Just see what's going on, gather some intel. Gonna Ocean's 11 this stuff.
I'm Brad Pitt.
Okay, whatever you gotta tell yourself.
No, we all
Does that-
know it.
I think with that, Ash just became Brad Pitt.
I'm Matt Damon.
I am Matt Damon. I can do it. I can do it.
I literally don't know anyone else in that movie. But
George Clooney.
Minus George Clooney.
Really?
I mean,
Yeah, George Clooney's in that. He's the main dude.
Huh.
he's Ocean.
He's Ocean.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, huh.
Wasn't Steve Buscemi in that too?
I'll be Steve Buscemi.
Dibs. Okay, cool.
Steve
Let's
Steve
go.
Buscemi surprisingly comes up a lot in our household. Don't know why.
Well, I mean that's what happens when you're a sex symbol.
Yeah.
Hey, he's an underrated actor. Also,
Yes.
if 50 Shades happens and the guy looks like Steve Buscemi and is homeless, it's a felony. It's an episode of Criminal Minds at that point. Not
Yeah.
not mommy porn.
Yep, exactly. Okay. So you guys want to stake out, walk by kind of both of them,
Yeah.
if I'm
sure,
understanding
yeah.
this correctly.
Why
Okay,
not?
so
Can I propose that if we're
No.
gonna stake out? Thank you, Quinn. If we're gonna stake out a place to rob it, maybe coming at night. So you say you got to do something this evening. Do you want to guys go do Zombie Castle, do your thing, and then afterwards?
Acoustic gives thumbs up.
I mean,
Sure.
Mycos, necrophilia is kind of weird, but okay. You're obsessed with zombies. I don't know what this zombie obsession has been.
They're fascinating things. That's all.
Oh, okay.
So Akusta makes a putting a crown on her head motion and just duh.
I don't remember things from 10 minutes ago. I don't care.
can everybody roll me an insight check?
Sure.
I would love to.
I'm pretty good at those. Not when I roll like that, though. 14.
I got 14 as well.
13.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. So, Akusta, from your knowings, and you know that your letter, you have to meet the person that night. You don't know anything about Ash's letter or anything. You just know about your personal own.
Okay.
But you assume that going to, like, say, the castle and checking things out, you have a strange suspicion it might take longer than that, than just a few hours.
Okay. Akusta signs, that'll take too long.
Well, we could stake out the mansion first, then, and switch the order. I don't like going to the mansion during the day, but...
Well, we don't go to the mansion itself. We walk past it, and then we check out what's on the other side of it. Perhaps there's a shop that we could frequent, and perhaps there is an above-it kind of deal like we have at the bar. And perhaps we could rent a room and sit there and watch out the window.
That's a lot of perhapses.
I mean,
That's a lot of perhapses.
It is,
kinda
but we
sounds like
haven't
this-
walked by yet. We should go walk by it and just see what happens.
sounds like a book I read once. Had this whole thing with a ring and a bunch of little guys. My favorites.
Ash, lead the way.
Okay. Let's head out. So Ash is gonna head out and kind of just like pretend like they're tourists, just checking out the city. Because in all honesty, you know, it's been crazy ever since all of us got to the city, and so Ash kind of wants to get the lay of the land a little bit as well. So just kind of walking around and getting a vibe for the city and where everything is, just kind of walking past Mr. Mooneybake's mansion. It's a sight, you know. Wouldn't you want to see where the richest person in the city lived? And then what's across the street?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad idea.
Okay. So as you guys are actually about to walk out, and Sadie kind of stops you for a second, just really quick, and hands you a piece of paper, just giving you the address to Mr. Mooneybags' house, since you guys don't really know where it is. So she's just to make it easier for you guys.
Thank you, Sadie.
Yeah, no problem. And I was able to talk with Amethyst. Oh. Mayor Thunderbeard. And she can try her best to get people to look the other way for you guys.
Cool. Thank
Got any
you.
more
I
breakfast
appreciate it.
burritos?
You're in luck. And at that moment, Garrett comes out with 4 freshly made breakfast burritos for all of you. And they're all nice individually wrapped. They're all nice and warm. And he hands them to you.
Ash is like, thank you, man. This is actually perfect. This is good timing.
Yoink.
Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Akusta briefly holds her burrito sideways, and then she just thinks better of it and just kind of
can't.
glares at
Can
at
I
Quinn,
try?
just like
Can
shrugging.
I try and do a sleight of hand and try and take a bite out of the center of Mykos' burrito before he gets it?
Roll a sleight of
Contest
hand,
that.
and Mykos, yeah, attest that.
What do I roll the contest? Slide hand?
Son of a bitch!
Dexterity. Like sleight of hand or something.
On the stupidest shit, I roll a nat 20.
Damn it!
So I just imagine Quinn like a freaking like piranha jumping out of the water, just going, tick, 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 tick.
No, it's like the scene
Just
from
like-
Free Willy. That's basically what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, I rolled a dirty 20, so...
She's like,
Oh.
yeah!
I'm just holding the burrito like this for a second, and teeth mark just chunk right out the middle.
Excuse me, it wouldn't fall on the floor. How dare you?
Ash like immediately tucks his into like a pocket and is like, nah.
Luckily for you, Micos, Garrett planned for this and hands you another burrito.
I have a spell like targeted at Quinn as I accept this other burrito.
I imagine now that Maiko's got another burrito, he just takes the one Quinn like bit and just slaps Quinn in the face with it. Like instead of throwing a spell at him.
I just want the other burrito. I just want 2.
Take it.
Yes. Slides the fully intact burrito and then continues gnawing on Maikos' former burrito because victory tastes so much sweeter taken from the loser.
So aggro. What did I do?
What aggression.
It's just because it's Maikos.
Oh my god.
You guys' burritos are safe. Just Maikos.
Alright. So as like Ash is kind of looking at the address and like starts kind of wandering, looking at street signs as he's like eating his burrito, and I would guess that everybody's kind of trailing after him. Would be my guess.
Yeah.
So as you're walking down the cobblestone streets of Harmony, there are people making their way to work hungover from the crazy parties last night. There are people that are still mourning from what happened a couple of nights ago, whether they lost a family member or such from the attack. And it was 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. 2 p.m. by the time you guys got out. So it's probably around 3. So actually, they're leaving work, most likely. And you're seeing people still working in the shops and such. You're walking by a factory, which Akusta, you can tell that is the sweatshop, the factory that you are supposed to meet by later that day because there is a bunch of kids working in there. And that's what the description of the letter was. You walk past, this is the factory district, and now you make it to the upper part of the city, which is where all the mansions, where all the richer people, royalty is living. Yes, Ash.
So, as Ash is walking through the factory district, he's gonna stop like 2 or 3 people in their like day, like people that he can see who've got like holes worn in the knees of their pants, and like people that obviously look like they're workers. And
right, like old
Ash
shoes and stuff. Yeah.
And Ash is gonna ask them, how do you feel about everything that's going on in the city? What's your take on what's going on?
Well,
and Ash wants to know from the people. Like, Ash is curious about what the everyday like worker is thinking.
Okay. So, first guy you walk up to, he's a bigger, kind of burlier guy. And, yeah, he's ragged and all that. He's like, well, to be frank, which is my name, Frank, I think that it all sucks. And honestly, I think that we need more control. People are killing each other because they're fighting these damn gangs that they can all just die. I don't care. Because they might as well just kill each other. Because they're going to kill everyone else. And he just kind of walks away. And now the second person that you ask is a younger woman. A younger woman. Hold on a second. I just got a thing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Quinn's hat has changed to like a reporter style hat with like a press sticker in it, and it's behind Ash writing down.
You see actually a woman with brown hair who's about Akusta's age. And she, for a second, it takes you back because you've never seen another Kalashtar before.
Akusta claps her hands and she's like pointing at the woman.
And the woman is about to respond, and she's like, "Oh, it's really messed up. I mean, it's just like we need to take care of it." And she sees Akusta and squeals out of excitement and goes up and hugs Akusta. It's like, "Oh, my friend! Oh my goodness, I've missed you so much!" And she connects with you through your mind link and begins speaking with you. He's like, "How have you been? Oh my goodness, you've grown so much."
So have you. You look so different. Like, oh my gosh. So, I don't know where you went after all that stuff went down in the Village of Laughter, but my family and I, like, we found this old abandoned homestead, and, like, my family lives there now. What about yours?
So
my
Ash is looking at these two, just like foreheads touching, and is like looking at Quinn and Mykos and being like, "Do you understand?" what's
Not a
going
thing.
on?"
Yeah.
Like,
No.
oh, okay. All right,
Mykos
all right,
and Quinn
good.
are playing rock, paper, scissors.
So, Akusta says, "Why don't you introduce yourself to my friends?"
Oh my goodness. She like looks so excited, and before she does that, she says to you, like, "My family actually moved here, and I've been living here this whole time. And I have a little shop down the way." And then she looks at the rest of you, and I'm sorry, Alyssa, how do you pronounce her name again?
Helki Hoppala.
Helki Hoppala. So she's like, "Hi, I'm Helki Hoppala. I've known Akusta since we were little kids, and this is a Kalashtar. This is probably this. I don't know about how all of you guys were, but here's a Kalashtar standing right next to another Kalashtar, and they're speaking, and these girls are so excited. They're beaming, looking at each other and looking at you guys. It's like, and she gives you all hugs. Like, any friend of Akusta is a friend of mine.
Very awkward hugger. I'm a very awkward, like,
Uppies.
She
It's been a rough couple days and I need a hug.
she like hugs Quinn, picks up Quinn, and like pats you like on the back.
Whee! And burps.
Yeah.
So Ash just kind of does the like handshake bro hug, and just is like, any friend of Akusta's is a friend of mine.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, I can't believe this. I walk this road on the way to work every day, and I just see she like almost starts crying, like from seeing Akusta.
Akusta is for sure crying.
Yeah.
And Akusta says to Helki, "These are the first friends I've made since the village got destroyed. And now I see you, and it's just like so overwhelming."
She is like she has to talk to you psychically because she's not being able to get words out of her mouth because she's just in tears. And she's like, I thought I'd never see you again. I thought, oh my goodness. And you look good. But then she looks at you really deeply, and she's like, is there anything you need to talk about?
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember what it was at this point. I honestly don't remember what I needed to ask her.
Yeah, she's like, well, that's fine. She gives you a slip of paper, like, this is my address. Come by and see me, and I'll make you some good old home cooking.
Akusta says, "We just made the cookies yesterday. Like, back from home."
She squeals and she's like, oh my goodness, I make that at least once a month. I have to. Just a taste of home.
It's
So
so nice.
Ash kind of like sees them like making like eating motions,
Mhm.
and he hadn't eaten his cookie yet. And so he kind of like takes it out of his cloak and he's like, I'm guessing you're talking about these. Do you want this?
She smiles like ear to ear, like so big, but she waves it off. She's like, "No, it's fine. I have some food at home. I'm heading my way home. I have plenty of food.
So
Go ahead and enjoy."
Ash grabs her hand and like puts it in it and closes her hand over it and is like, no, we have more. Take it.
Do we though?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
She smiles and nods. She's, "Thank you so much." And
Akusta says, but before you go, my friends think that I am running my business here. I'm a chandler now. Like, you know, my mom taught me the trade, and like I just haven't had time to go there. Like, do you think you could give me a leg up in the guild?
oh my goodness, she's just like, nobody's ever really done this, but only she did this to you growing up. She kind of boops your forehead and she's just like, "Silly Akusta, of course, anything for you." And she's so I will talk to the heads of the guild, and you will for sure have the best spot for the market. And she's like, "But I gotta go. I gotta go home. It's been a long day, but it's so good to see you."
She says, I'll come and see you soon, okay?
Okay, sounds good. She waves at all, and she waves, "Goodbye, everybody, goodbye." And she looks at you one more time, Akusta, and mind links again. And she's like, "I haven't been able to mind link with anybody for so long.
It feels good, right?
It feels so right. Why use your mouth?
Right?
Why?
What's the point?
What's the point?"
And like, so it's kind of funny. So I was just thinking about this. So like during this, like Ash starts to kind of like see the link between the two of them. Like he starts to kind of be able to like see the cord, but it's like at the very end, and then it's just gone.
Nice.
Yeah.
I want to think that this time, Micus and Quinn are just watching two childhood friends just. And we're just like watching two people like gesticulate at each other, and we're just like, I don't know either.
Yeah.
Gwen starts looking at Micos and being like,
So Helki goes on her way. You guys go your way. You guys Quinn's doing the Macarena. Micos is doing it as well. Where are you guys going? Oh yeah, you guys going to Mooney Bags.
no, Micos, it's step, bump, bump, step, bump, bump.
You have it all wrong.
You guys make it to the address that's on the paper of Mooney Bags' place. And you can definitely tell it's Mooney Bags' house. Like, even without, like, having the Google Maps out, you just look at it and it screams Mooney Bags.
Literally?
Yes, it's a house of Mooney Bags!
There's magical gargoyles on pillars between, on either side of a gate,
Yeah.
going, "Mr. Mooneybags, residence here."
Yes, 100%.
Like his style.
100%, yes. You look at it, and yes, you see those two gargoyles screaming his name, and it stands there, 3 stories tall, with like the Gothic design that Harmony is known for. But there's also like many different contraptions on the outside of the building, like metal plates on the side that look to serve like some sort of protection. You don't know whether it's from protecting the house from the outside or from the inside. And on the roof, you see solar panels on top, and along with a dish antenna.
Very anachronistic.
Yeah.
Do you think he has the basic cable package or like all the channels?
So what's across the street, or is there any businesses across the way that we could perhaps bribe to let us just chill for a minute and just like watch from like a second story or something?
So, right across the street, unfortunately, no, this is like basically the the mansion district, the housing district. So basically, right across the street is just like another mansion, another house. There are some bushes outside, like next to the fence on the right side, if you want to sit there and watch for a little bit or something. But you look around and you get the sense that this place is still a little active.
Okay.
Do we see any guards or anything?
Roll a perception check.
Can we all do that?
15.
Yeah, you can do that.
18.
Was that a 21 for you?
Oh, I don't know. My perception isn't like the strong one for me. 18.
Okay.
I got 18 as well.
Okay. All of you see this, you just see inside the window that there is one moving figure inside the windows.
Okay.
Okay. Do we see enough of it to realize that there's a pattern to its movements?
No pattern to its movements. It looks like Ash, I will give you a little bit more to this since you are used to casing places and all that. It looks like somebody who is moving with purpose. And looks like some sort of maybe servant or something.
Huh. I got another question about the property. Do we notice any sort of, like, there was those eyes at the laboratory. Are there any sort of like magical or mechanical surveillance systems that we can see that are active?
Hold on a second. You can see at least like one on each corner of the building, a little kind of like miniature version of those eyes that are kind of planted on the building like a camera.
Okay. I think I know what I want to do.
What's the plan, Micos? What do you got?
I'm going to go knock.
That's actually
You guys
not a bad
should have
plan.
brought cookies. I am a child.
It's the perfect cover.
That's the plan. Who would say no
What do we have that
to
we
Gnome
could...
Scout cookies? But not the coconut
right.
ones.
You know what? Quinn, you stay behind the wall so we don't blow your cover because no one's seen you yet for that. And I'll stay with you. Micos, do you want to go up and knock on the door and see what's going on? And then we might be able to come back with cookies and Quinn and like finagle our way in later, depending on who's opening the door.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good idea. Because I honestly just have several questions.
That's good. You know, and you're a scientist too. Like you've got scientific questions that you need answers from Mr. Moonbags for.
Perfect.
I mean, he does have the coat. I mean, I believe it. He's got the coat.
All you need is a pen, a lanyard, and a clipboard, and you can get into almost anywhere.
I'm relatively certain I have those. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to... Hey, Quinn, just out of curiosity, how heavy are you?
My weight, I can tell you exactly. Actually, give me 2 seconds.
Oh, wow.
I am
64 ounces.
I'm 40 pounds. 3 feet high, 40 pounds.
What's the range on Featherfall?
Hey, maybe I should add that to my spells. It's a first level spell, Featherfall.
While you're looking that up, I'm going to walk to the door.
So, Micos, are you going by yourself?
I think that's...
Featherfall's range is 60 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how far is the wall where the gargoyles are proclaiming Mr. Moonybag?
So those
From
are
the
not on the
door.
wall. They're on the front gate. Like,
Yeah, well, I figured that the front gate is like part of the wall that like borders the estate.
How tall do you think the building is, Levi? Like 30 feet high? 20 feet high?
it's 3 stories tall.
So 36 feet high.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
I'm just saying, Mycos catapult me.
And the thing is, and the gate is like not necessarily it's like you can see through the gate. It's not a wall or a solid like thing. It's like it's a gate. It's a fence.
Okay, so it's a fence all the way around.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. I was thinking that he had like a wall and then just like a gate, but okay.
So, Micos, you start just walking up, and you easily, like, the gates actually open for you. Like, they're automatic gates. They open for you.
Again, God. This guy has so many problems, but I just love the style. That's great. Just so smart.
Quinn is just taking notes of just like how he wants his mansion to be.
Akusta, what are you doing?
I am just going to, like, stand back and not really, like, engage at all.
Okay. So
She's just kind of eating her breakfast burrito, just like taking in the city. Just like, oh,
yeah, just standing on the side. I was like, wow, these are beautiful, beautiful buildings. Yeah, and that's totally believable because Akusta, you are kind of dressed like a bit of a country girl, you know. So it totally fits. So Micos, you see that there are stone stairs leading up to the front door. And so you're walking up the stairs to the front door.
Yeah.
And so do you knock on the door?
I do.
Okay. So you knock on the door, and it takes a little second, like, you know, because you saw that figure moving up, probably on the second floor.
It's a big mansion. It'll take some time.
Yeah. And then I was
Too
just
bad
about
he
to
doesn't
make,
have long strider.
I was just about to make a joke that it took 20 minutes, but
Oh, Mycos would stand there. I'm sure of it. I would bet $1 million that Mycos would just be like, yes.
About a minute or two later, actually, though, the door opens, and standing in the doorway is an owlin, a humanoid owl. And he stands there. He's about your size, Micos. And he looks at you. Can I help you?
Afternoon. I'm an acquaintance of some concerned people. First off, I don't mean to be rude. I'm trying better to practice my etiquette and manners. No doubt you understand. How are you today?
I am fine. Thank you for asking.
Certainly.
What is your business here?
Very quickly, this is the residence of Sir Crisp Moneybags.
At that point, you hear the gargoyles from behind you from the fence scream, Mr.
Money bags! It's just a factoid I kind of picked up on the way here.
Ash can't help himself. He's just like, hoo, 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 hoo.
Quinn whispers to Ash, I want him to read me bedtime stories.
I understand your friend, associate, employer, perhaps, has gone missing.
Master Moneybags is not here at the moment. He had to leave in a hurry.
I see.
Sus.
Do you know where he was headed?
He did not specify,
I see.
but I've had many policemen come asking about him.
Okay. I'm sorry. I don't wish to pry too much into your affairs. Like I said, I'm an associate of some very concerned individuals who have worked hard to guide the futures of this city in a way that would be the most beneficial. And
Who?
who? That's very funny.
Hey. What's funny?
Joke I heard earlier today. It's nothing.
Oh, please. I love jokes.
Awesome. A panda walks into a bar with a gun.
Oh.
Kills everyone except the bartender.
Oh.
As he's walking out the door, he says, "Look up panda in the dictionary." Bartender's furious. He sees that panda, large black and white bear, eats, shoots, and leaves.
Roll me a persuasion check.
No problem.
Oh, that's going in my repertoire. That is amazing.
It's actually a 12.
That is good enough. The owl was like,
That's a good one. I haven't laughed that hard in a very long time.
Specifically that hard? You haven't laughed that hard in a long... Okay.
Oh.
Can we call this guy Treebeard?
My friend, I'm curious. How did the police know to come look for you? If Mooneybags didn't tell you where he was going, surely he must have been anticipated somewhere, otherwise the police wouldn't have known he was gone missing.
Well, it was the night of the attack. And a man of Mooneybags' position requires assistance, and people were worried. So they came under their own volition.
Sorry, people arrived here before the attack.
No, they came after to see if he was alright.
Ah, I see. And would you describe Master Mooneybags' behavior as normal prior to the attack?
Moneybags. Not normal. He's not normal. Not like you or me.
I see.
But he was very... what's the word? Scared? Furious?
Do you know of anyone who might have been threatening your master?
We did business with a lot of people, but I don't think so. I would have heard about it. Do you? Do you and your friends wish to come in?
We'd like that very much. Thank you.
He looks over Micos' shoulder and kind of like gestures at all of you guys.
Come on in.
Oh, and the ones that are in the bushes?
Yes, he rolled a nat 20 on his perception check.
Oh, I just come scurrying then. Like, as soon as the jig's up, Quinn's just like, okay.
Ash just kind of stands up. He's like wiping leaves off him. He's like, son of a bitch, man.
Akusa just kind of trots up, and like she is very impressed by this neighborhood.
Micos is going to lean in close to our Owlin friend. I'm very sorry for the subterfuge, but I'm concerned that right now we're being watched. I would very much appreciate to go inside. Thank you very much for your invitation.
Annie, it's my pleasure. You can call me Mr. Beaks.
Thank you for allowing us in, Mr. Beaks.
You're welcome.
You look cozy.
Akusa just kind of
Thank
elbows Quinn in the chest.
He looks at you, Quinn, specifically,
Ew.
and looks at you and bends down a little bit. Like, he doesn't kneel, but he bends down. And he speaks to you in Gnomish.
Hello, little one.
Hi. You're
Hi.
cool.
You are a fascinating person.
Thank you.
I miss gnomes.
We're pretty cool. Some less than others. Kind of like every race. There's good, there's bad. Most are good.
Isn't that true?
Yeah.
And then he
Sure
stands.
that's not a misnomer.
Oh, you.
Everybody take a D4 psychic damage.
This isn't Dungeons and Daddies. You wish.
I know.
I wish.
I know, right?
Oh, man. Quinn is just entranced by Mr. Beaks. He's just like, yeah, let's go. Tugging on Micos' coat like, let's go.
Yeah. No, I definitely enter.
So you guys enter.
Ash is like freaking head on a swivel. Like, he is super nervous. He's like, why are we getting invited inside? This seems like a trap. Like, that's what like Ash's headspace is going in on this.
Akusta assigns to Ash subtle. Be subtle.
Yeah, just Ash is like, what's that? What are you? What are you doing? Mr. Beaks looks and notices Ash is a little bit jumpy, and he's like,
Relax. We are the only ones here. This is the safest place in Harmony.
Mr. Beaks, if I may.
Yes.
I would like to introduce you to my friends. This is Miss Couscous. Couscous is...
Akusta nudges my ghost.
no,
Like,
I'm straight face. It's Miss Couscous. She's really good at reading people. She's here to more or less aid me in trying to get to the bottom of just what happened to Mooneybags. And that's why I bought Din. Din is the shorter fellow over there. Din is an expert in archaeological features and factors. He's here to kind of help me get to the bottom of seeing just if anything's out of place or anything like that. He has a great knowledge of antiquities despite his age. And
Also,
that
expert at being awesome.
And that over there is Mash. Mash is an expert, former thief actually, but expert when it comes to infiltration, subterfuge. He's here to kind of help me get to the bottom and see if there's any, I hate to say, foul play in your master's sudden disappearance. I'm an investigator.
Nice to meet
Roll a deception check.
And add +4 to it. Or is it +4 or +2?
I think it's +2.
Black hat turned gray.
Shoot. I am so sorry.
You did see deception, right?
Yes.
Outstanding. That's a 23 before I add anything to what Acosta does.
Yeah, it's +2.
Jeez.
25.
Very nice. Very nice. He rolled an 8. He got an 18. That's very good. He is a little bit puzzled. Like,
Oh, an investigator in a lab coat. Huh.
I'm a fan of the scientific arts.
You
He is very smart.
I cannot
looks
lie.
like you learn something new every day.
I say the same thing all the time.
Yes.
Words are hard.
he speaks to you in Gnomish, and he's just like,
Especially when it's not your common tongue.
You do really good.
I try. I've read a lot of books. I've hung out with a lot of gnomes.
Yeah.
this totally eloquent owl man who has arm. By the way, he has arm, but then he has wings on his back.
Yeah.
And he's standing there and he's he throws up a gangster like, word up.
Quiz is trying to hold in his excitement, just like
Mr. Beaks, I, again, for the purpose of my investigation, just want to get some facts straight really quick.
Yes.
What is your title here?
I am groundskeeper. I am Mr. Mooneybags' assistant. I am his handler. I am all-around handyman. I am his butler. I am...
Are you like Alfonso from that one movie that one time?
I'm not sure, but yes.
Okay.
Very, 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 very capable. Excellent. Thank you very much, Mr. Beaks. It's a pleasure to meet someone with such diverse talents. And in the meantime, I'm going to kind of look over at Acosta and be like, hey, if this guy starts lying or anything, just keep an eye out for anything funny.
Acosta nods.
Do you need to see the rest of the house for your investigation?
At this time, I would just like, maybe if we could take a seat together and draw the curtains, I'd appreciate that.
Oh, of course.
And by the way, full disclosure, Mr. Beaks, I'm just going to do this now. I reach in, I pull my dagger out, and I hand it to him. I pull out my crossbow, and I hand it to him, too. It's like, I have to carry things for my own protection and safety, but I want you to feel comfortable in my presence, okay?
Oh, that is not necessary, but thank you.
and he takes your dagger and your crossbow, and he holds them very perfectly, and he walks over, and he opens a safe and puts them in there. Like, this is just what they do.
It's like, anytime you can have them.
Thank you very much, sir.
And then he starts walking, and then he kind of slowly starts flapping his wings, and he kind of flies over to each of the curtains in the room to the left of you, which is the library. Closes the curtains, and he's like,
Have a seat.
and you can see that there's 4 different leather chairs in front of a fireplace. And
It's good.
he is standing kind of in front of the fireplace, waiting for you all. Let me describe the room to you really quick. So yeah, leather seats and side tables at the seats, so that way you can have like some whiskey or whatever, or brandy right next to you, and put it down your glass. Are placed in front of the fireplace. Shelves of books line the walls. Books with titles, like you just pick out a couple, like out of nowhere, just out of the glimpse of your eye, like on the spines of the books, like potions and herbs, healing and other properties.
Ash is just like looking at these and just seeing the dollar signs above each spine of each book, and just being like, "Oh my god!"
The science behind everything. The Boy Wizard and His Frog Pal, Volume 1 through 8. Elves Need Lovin' Too, a self-help book. Sonic X Zelda. Those are just some of the examples of books.
I motion to the books. Do you mind if I take a look at this potion one? I'm a chemist myself, you see.
Not at all.
Thank you very much. And thank you so much for your hospitality. I greatly appreciate that. Mr. Beaks,
Yes.
I want to establish one more fact. Your master's disappearance, he vanished after he left the mansion, correct?
Yes.
Interesting. And you said he seemed frightened prior to the attack.
Frightened or angry? He was upset. He told me he had to go away for a bit. He did not express why.
Is that common for him?
He does a lot of business, and a lot of times it is better I do not know what he's up to.
Very good. That's quite understandable. It's good to have plausible deniability. Clearly that means he must care for you to keep you safe like that. That's very nice.
I am his childhood best friend.
I see. Is it possible that he might have recorded any place he intended to travel to in a dossier or agenda or anything like that?
He keeps many notes in his laboratory. In the basement.
He's got a home lab.
Yes, a man of his genius needs quick access for any sort of experiments. I'm sure you quite understand that.
I'm not a man of his resources, but yes, I have certainly set up a lab at my current residence.
But definitely
Yes,
a man of his talents.
Yes, you look very, very, very intelligent. That coat suits you well.
I appreciate that. But I'm not here to talk about me. I was rather curious about where he might have gone. Did he say anything to you after he arrived home from the laboratory prior to the mishap at the laboratory, as it were? Or following the mishap at the laboratory?
He seems, as the kids say, tilted?
He was quite upset, Mykos.
I want to roll insight.
Okay.
Not with that dice.
Ash is kind of like perusing the books at this point, and he finds the one he was looking for. It's titled The Purpose of Meaning.
Yeah,
And
it's
he
definitely
just, like,
there.
Pulls it out and looks, and it just says 42.
Yes.
And he's like, I knew it! And just closes it and puts it back.
Okay, so my insight roll was 26.
Okay. What was the roll about or on?
Like, I wanted to see, like, what did you just ask him?
I'm very curious to know, like, how was his, what did he say or what did he do? Because for all I know, for you guys, he might have come home and immediately said, a smoke genasi, a gnome, a kalashtar, and a human caused a major ruckus at my laboratory today.
Yeah, so I want to see if he's leaving anything out of that nature.
So you can tell that he's being very truthful, but you can tell that he's being very truthful, and he's trying not to leave much out. And he kind of senses, Akusta, that you're looking at him, and making sure that everybody understands that he's like,
Mr. Moneybags left a lot of his business at the office. I specifically expressed that to him, that he should do that, after the many hissy fits he threw when he would get upset about work. So we made it a healthy environment, a rule, to keep that shit out of the house.
Oh.
It's important to keep your work separate. Your
Yes.
home is supposed to be a safe space.
Yes.
Akusa says to Maiko secretly, ask him about his relationship with the mayor. If you wouldn't mind getting around to that at some point.
Mr. Beaks, thank you so much for being so hospitable, so forthcoming. We really appreciate it.
Of course. Oh, how rude of me. Do any of you need a drink?
Yeah.
If you have a sparkling
Oh.
water, I'll take it. Yes, certainly.
Of course.
I'm
What
okay.
is-
Akusta
Thank
shakes her head.
Okay. Young gnome.
2 fingers on the rocks.
roll a persuasion check, because he knows how old you are as a gnome.
Add 2.
Yeah, that's an 18. Oh, plus 2? 18. Dirty 20.
Okay, I'm gonna have him roll his wisdom really quick.
You know,
He just speaks to you, and he's like,
let's keep it our little secret. Okay?
You got it, buddy.
and he quickly leaves the room and to go and get your drinks.
While
Now
he's
he's out-
gone, Ash takes the Secret of Everything book and like pockets it. Life, the universe, and everything.
Why would you need to take it if the answer's on one page and it's one number? Why would you need to take it? I am a child. And I know that.
Hey,
Maiko's
hey,
with
hey,
me, right?
Hey,
I'm with you.
I have one thing. I have one thing that's weird. I have one thing, and it's this, and I'm taking this.
Only one? Look at the party. Look at the group. One thing that's weird?
Look, okay. Ash was a thief. Mash is a former thief. So maybe we could play this out and see how this goes before you become Ash again.
He's also super cool. He might just give it to you.
Akusta.
Ash is just like glaring daggers at Maiko's, and he's just like,
Michael.
he puts it back. He just
Michelle.
like puts it back on the shelf. He's just like,
Mash gets good boy pats from Din.
From Din, which is just on the butt.
That's as high as I can reach.
Yeah, exactly.
For a second, Ash turns into Sonic. Not sure why.
Yes. Is there anything else you guys want to do before he gets back in the room?
I kind of want to lean over and just be like, listen, I know this is not really playing out quite how we were like going to case the joint and all that stuff, but realistically, his sudden disappearance is not a good thing for Harmony, I don't think. His ideas may have been flawed, but ultimately, his heart was in the right place and he had a lot of resources to affect change. Him suddenly vanishing means those resources could be who knows where.
Also, I heard this from a great philosopher who's an artificer a long time ago. The evil you know is better than the evil you don't, so I think we should just chill.
Yeah. So, I'm going to ask anyone objecting to what I'm doing right now.
I'm good with it.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. This is good information gathering.
Quinn would magically somehow, you don't know how, change into like an old-timey suit and a like bowler hat and sits down in one of those leather chairs and just is waiting for his brandy.
Akusta signs to Maiko's smart thinking on your part.
I am capable of it.
Ash actually, after putting the book back, is now looking for spell tomes because that's how he learns his magic. And so he's looking for any kind of spell book that might be unique to this library that would make it to where he could learn a higher level spell than what he's currently at. Something where he can just remember the incantation and all of a sudden be able to do the thing.
Yeah, go ahead and roll an investigation check, Ash.
Alright. Oh. Ash went cross-eyed from reading too much.
Too much being one number.
Yeah.
One number?
I rolled a 1.
Listen, it was the answer to everything, okay? It just broke his brain. Like,
Yeah.
How is that possible? It's just a number. What?
Listen, Couscous, you are above and beyond.
Yeah. That is the first nat 1 I've had in a
It
long
happens to the
time.
best of us.
yeah. So, also in this room, by the way, there are pictures on the wall of Chris Mooneybags as a young adult. He is an elf, so he has kind of that ageless body, or ageless, look towards him. But he is younger in these pictures, and he is with, it looks like to be his parents or his family. And there's a lot of pictures with him and what seems to be his mother.
No spouse?
No spouse. He is, what you can tell, and from what you can gather from just like knowing what you've heard of Mooneybags throughout the years, because, he's one of the richest people in the world. Like, you probably hear some stuff that
for sure.
his love is science.
I heard a rumor his dad was named Osrin.
Hold on a second. No. So yeah, that's just some little stuff that you see. Now Mr. Beaks kind of comes in the room, and you don't hear him come in. He's as light as a feather. He is just like kind of just like hovers in, it seems like.
When Ash realizes he's in the room, he is shook because he did not notice him. And Ash prides himself on being able to realize, like, when he's not alone in a room. Ash is shook.
Technically, this whole time you haven't been alone.
Well, congratulations,
yes,
Quinn.
but this is Ash, this is probably the first time in a long time before you've gone through any of your stuff that somebody has kind of snuck up on you.
Gotten the drop on.
Yeah. But he just kind of walks up and he just hands Michael his sparkling water.
Thank you very much.
Yes. And hands Din his brandy.
Yes.
So, I've seen you've changed your clothes. Classic gnomish behavior.
Try to be classy.
Yes. Anyway. Let us continue.
Yeah, I would very much like to see that laboratory. so we can see if we can find any sort of dossier or anything like that that might have disclosed where he went to.
Oh, I don't know about that. That is Mr. Mooneybags' personal lab.
So go ahead and roll persuasion
Sure.
if you want to.
I would love to.
And if anybody wants to help him out or anything, you can.
I would.
You gave me a plus
like
2?
to.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So that's a 21.
Yeah, that'll do it. He looks at you. He's like,
But I am concerned. And as a fellow scientist yourself, I see that there can be no harm. Just promise me this. You will not try to steal any of his inventions.
We will not try to steal anything.
That is the furthest thing from my mind. Which, by the way, was an honest statement from Micah's.
Ash, were you being dishonest at all?
No, I was honest. I will not try to steal anything.
But will you do?
Not going to answer that.
Go ahead and roll deception.
You get a +2 to it, but you don't deserve it.
No.
I don't want to steal anything, but I'm sorry if I grab a shiny. I'll try not to.
Did you say deception?
Yes.
That is 23.
I'm so sorry you got a nat 20 on his wisdom check.
Also get fucked.
He just looks at you and he's like,
Once a thief, always a thief.
Did I lie?
Perhaps I shall accompany you down to the lab.
If it makes you more comfortable, Mr. Beaks, if
Yes.
you're concerned about thievery from the lab, I fully understand.
I can remain here.
If you'd like, I would very much like to take my shorter friend Din, and if you'd like, the two of us can just go to the lab.
Oh, that won't be necessary. We can all go to the lab.
Thank you very much for your accommodation.
so
Again, I wasn't lying, was I?
No, you are not. I understand. Thank you for being truthful.
Once again, was I lying?
You were withholding information,
Can
which is a
you
form
mentally
of lying.
yell at Ash for me? Because the truth is worse than the lie. Because that was a declaration of intent to steal. That is worse than lying.
Akusta just says,
So-
play it cool, damn.
damn.
Damn, dog.
He then
Just like
leads
look at him, Ash. Like,
he
you kidding me?
You're blowing
so
this.
you're all doing this as he's leading you to the lab. Which
Ash
is-
just starts walking like this.
Yeah. he does the owl thing where as he's walking, he then turns his head all the way behind to watch
Oh,
you.
so Quinn just goes.
Oh.
Do I disturb you?
No,
Your
I know it's
freaking
part of your
eyes, dude.
I know it's part of your physiology, but it's just unsettling to see for the first time.
Yeah, this freaking by the way, he's like a barn owl face. I just wanted to describe that. But yeah, so he leads you out of the library and leads you down the hall. And there's different rooms to eat down the hall. You walk past the dining room, you walk past the armory, which has a bunch of what you can tell decorative weapons on the walls and stuff and different sorts of armor. And then there's the bathroom. Or not the bathroom, the bar, I mean. That's where he went to get drinks. Bathroom, bar, same thing. He then there's the stairs that go upstairs, but then he goes behind them. There's a little door behind them, and he opens it, and he opens it for you, and you can see stairs that go down.
After you.
I'm gonna put on some white gloves. Just be. We're investigators.
Thank you.
Of course.
I don't want to be the last person down the stairs.
I'll go down last. Jiminy Christmas.
Well,
He's going.
Sorry, I meant that I don't want him to be the last person to go down the stairs. I don't want to get shut into the basement. by
Why
this
not? Basements are
owl-looking
fun.
dude. No,
It's
he's
dark,
gonna try
it's
and trap us
cold.
in there.
Why not? We can get out. It's not that big a deal.
So
No,
I want to
he
do.
goes in the middle.
Okay, I want to do an insight check to see if he would have that sort of intention to trap us.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
I have advantage on insight rolls. And it's a good thing because that's a 26. I rolled a nat one originally.
Ooh.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to have that intention. He's just being cautious of Ash. That's why. Or Mash. Of wanting to keep an eye on all of you.
Mash ruined it.
So Akusta tells
He really
Ash,
did.
cool your jets. He's not gonna trap us. Why would he? Just try not to have such sticky fingers, man. Like, Mykos is getting really good intel that I know for sure I couldn't get on my own. Quinn would probably botch it. You're for sure botching it. So can we just
I would
chill
botch
for
it?
a minute?
Rude. I got him to serve a minor alcohol. How would I botch it?
Ash just like slaps Quinn on the top of the head with the back of his hand, and he's just like, "Thank you, Akusta. Sorry. Let's just follow Mykos' lead. You're right." And just kind of like chills and like rolls his shoulders. And it's like, "All right, let's go."
So
got two
Akusta gives
more of
Mykos a
those.
thumbs up.
I walk into the lab.
Okay. So you walk into the lab. Let me pull up the description really quick. So you walk into the basement lab. You walk down the stone stairs. And you see, like, everywhere, there's Bunsen burners all over the place. Like, what you expect. There's pieces of metal lying on tables next to tools, like he was recently working on them. Little gadgets all over the place with wires sticking out, like papers crumpled up on the ground with incomplete equations written on them. And you just look around and you see all these sorts of different things. Yeah. If you want to roll investigation, perception, or anything, any of the sort, you can go ahead.
Mash Din. I would like you to see if you could find any evidence of a struggle or any evidence of break-in. If somebody came by and threatened or harassed him, it's possible they would try to do so in the lab. And if that's the case, there might be some evidence that the authorities didn't capture. So could you look around?
All right.
Yeah, sure.
So
Like, Mr. Beaks kind of gets offended when you say that. He's like,
No one would ever get past me.
I'm not at all doubting your abilities as an observant and capable keeper, Mr. Beaks.
I want to do an insight check on what his sort of combat capabilities are. What
Okay.
exactly he meant by that statement.
alrighty, go ahead.
Great question.
mhm.
Okay,
Because he's a badass.
22.
22. So you look at this owl, and he is in. By the way, this whole time he's wearing like a suit, like a butler's uniform.
Sure.
But you take a closer look, and yeah, he's about, he's medium size, so about high like 5'10" or something like that. And he's standing there And he has just like huge arms. Just huge. And you get the sense that there is quite a bit of magic tingling off of him.
Beefy and magical.
Yeah.
Yes. He's a hot owl. I mean you don't even need, like, you take an insight check and in underneath the suit you can see he has abs.
A blush rises to Akusta's cheek.
Akusta's not into birds, exactly.
No,
Exactly.
but-
So that's something.
Exactly.
Is it bats?
So I think the answer to that is she's not into birds, but if she was,
If she was.
this
This
is the best chance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a pretty
She
hot
get-
bird.
She gets a little bit of a bloody nose, like, oh no.
So Ash rolled a 24 on his investigation to see if there was any kind of a scuffle or any disturbances that might have been overlooked, like tables being moved, like scrapes on the floor, like anything that looks like it might have been moved to kind of cover up a crime, because
Okay.
Ash has done all of it.
Yeah, definitely. So Ash, with your expertise on the matter, you don't see any exact signs of a struggle. You just see like the natural like messiness of a tinkerer, of like a beautiful mind type thing, of just like, you know, he has so much going on. And
Okay.
Mr. Beak brings out the point that is like,
Although the officers were here, I did not specifically lay them down here. For they did not go past any sort of questioning when I told them that he left town.
see, this is exactly why we're here. And Mr. Beaks, like I
Yes.
said, I don't want to infer
and-
that you have any sort of absence of ability at all.
No, but this is why Mr. Moneybags is working to help the city, trying to get better security. The police showed up. They asked a few questions.
It was the bugbear, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
The bugbear. What a jackass.
Yeah.
And they quickly left. As if they didn't.
From my professional opinion, nothing has happened here. We could safely say that nothing nefarious has been done in this lab, no struggles.
Thank you for.
And we're
Good
just
point.
trying to answer the questions that others may be afraid to ask. Not trying to make judgments on anybody at all, but if we rule out asking a question because we have a feeling on the matter, then you have to understand, as a scientist, I can't abide logic like that. So I'm, again, no offense intended, but we are just trying to explore every possibility.
Of course, I understand.
Is that the dossier over there on
completely.
the table?
yes, and you see a dossier, and you also see like, you see that. You also see. Go ahead and roll an investigation, Micos.
I get to add 2, right?
Yep.
Thanks to Couscous.
And
Because that was a pretty low roll. That was a 5. But with Acosta giving me a +2, that makes that a 7. And my investigation is also +7. So that's a 14.
very nice. That's good. Yeah, this was a low DC. But you see next to the dossier also like there's a bunch of different like bunch of scribbles of notes that he was specifically working on, like different inventions and all that, different equations. And you see what you assume is a tape recorder.
Tape recorder.
I gingerly pick up the dossier and I hand it to Mr. Beaks and I say, out of respect for what this is, could you please open to the last page, and if you review and it looks acceptable, may I give it a read? In the meantime, Din,
Yes.
is that tape recorder still recording?
Yes. Can I check?
Yeah, you check it, and it's not. It's stopped, and yeah.
Okay. Not recording.
Are you all right, Mr. Beaks, if we back this up and give it a listen to?
Yes, no.
Thank you so
no,
much.
Yes, of course, you can.
So yeah, you back it up, you press play. Yeah. And it like lands perfectly, like movie style, like it would land perfectly, like for what you needed, but then it just in the middle it's like eggs, bacon, carrot top, fish.
But he's
Batman.
vegan. He's vegan.
Eggs, bacon.
I
God, I miss bacon.
He's like, he's just in dire need.
And then so you kind of fast forward it and get back and try to find the spot, and then it plays the message that you were kind of looking for. And so this is a tape recorder, so imagine it being all staticky and stuff, you know, like old-timey recording. And it just says, "Today's the day! It's it! I have the mayor coming to the lab. I can finally show her what I've been working on to help her and help this beloved city of ours. I know, Mother always said to not get your hopes up, but I've got a good feeling about this. I should prepare my presentation." And then that recording ends. And do you listen? There's a next one if you want to listen.
I would like to hit pause on that really quick. And then I would like to hear the last entry on the dossier before we play the recording anymore.
The dossier. So yeah, you ask Mr. Beaks, and Mr. Beaks looks at it, and he's reading it. And he nods.
Yes, I think this is appropriate to
Thank you very
share.
much.
And he hands it to you.
I give it a read.
Yes.
It's the forbidden chili cheese recipe.
Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, wait, hold on." Yeah, no, it's just it's files on different sorts of like different associates and such that he has, different business partners. The last page is specifically just like kind of little notes about when he's planning on meeting the mayor that day. And then later on it's it looks like he didn't fill it out after he got back from the lab. Like, usually you see him kind of fill out each day, like, morning, this is what I'm planning on doing. And then he gets home, like, this is what I did. Now I'm going to try and do this tomorrow, like, or whatever. But he didn't fill it out.
Okay. Very good. I close it and I put it back down on the counter.
Akusta says to Mykos, it's pretty clear what the relationship is between Mooneybags and the mayor. Maybe you could ask him if Mooneybags has had any run-ins with the resistance. With Raknar.
Good question.
Or anyone of that sort.
Mr. Beaks, do you know if your master met with Raknar the werewolf or any other members of the so-called resistance?
Who?
I see what you did there.
Yes, no, just kidding. I know who they are. I read the paper. From my knowledge, I have never seen Mr. Mooneybags speak with such distasteful people.
In our own investigation, I feel comfortable telling you, as you have been so comfortable talking to us so far. Raknar the werewolf is so far the most likely culprit, we believe. The organizer of the attack of last night, or 2 nights ago. And that makes me very concerned about his knowledge or relationship to your master, and perhaps his knowledge of your master's current whereabouts.
Thank you for all the concern. I have my own thoughts on Raknar and this whole thing.
What might they be?
Well, I love to read. Knowledge is everything.
Agreed.
In my countless hours, days, years of reading and going along, meeting different people, I've learned many different things on how to read people. Because people are like books. Which is why
He looks to
Ash is like, why I find you so fascinating, Mr. Closed Book. But with Raknar, he has serious, how say you, small beans potential.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
More what?
Small beans.
Small beans.
You don't
Yes.
think he's the top of the
that
chain?
No.
Who would you think is on top?
I'm not sure. I just know, from my personal beliefs, it's not him.
Would you say he is controlled opposition?
I believe he is meant to cause a ruckus, to do the dirty work.
So, some back channel is asking him to do the things that they cannot in the light of day.
That would be my guess.
That, I agree with you. That has been my instinct as well.
Mm-hmm. Now there is still that next recording on the tape if you guys want to.
Click play.
Okay, so you kick play, the audio goes back to static, old timey like BioShock like recordings that you find. Yeah, exactly. They ruined it. They ruined it. Those four with the mayor asking all those questions and making Thunderbeard have doubts about my creations and eating burritos sideways? Who does that? I can't believe this. Oh, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I gotta talk to the council about this. Click. And the recording ends.
That seemed very odd.
Mr. Beaks, this may be hard to believe, but this thing I just heard is the best news I've had all day. Because this was the last place he was supposed to be that we know of. Which means, you have to understand, the range of my investigation has just shrunk from this location to the location of the council. He could have been gone anywhere at any time. But now we have a range of when he left, when he should have arrived, and whether or not he did. This is extraordinary. Do you know who this council is?
I've heard him muttering about that before, but I do not know. Frankly, there's a lot of places he goes I do not know, for it also is not my business. Like I said,
It's a
the less
protection,
I
of course.
know, the better.
Understandable.
Yes.
We're still linked.
Yeah, I look over at Akusta and I say verbally to the rest of the party, Din, Mash, Couscous, do you have any other areas that you wish to investigate or look into while we're here? At this time, for my own satisfaction, I believe my investigation here is concluded, but I'm going to give my colleagues an opportunity.
Mr. Beaks,
Yes.
are there any pretty shinies that would help us find him? Or anything else that we wanted to look for?
Oh, you mean the Moody Bags detector? And he pulls out a big freaking remote that has a big button that says, "Hey, locate your local Chris Mooney Bags." And
No. But
Any other cool gizmos that, could help us?
feel free to look around the lab. I will be here in the corner watching.
I would
I'd
like to do the
investigate
same.
for gizmos.
okay, go ahead.
Same here.
Roll your investigations or perceptions. Yeah, he basically just becomes like standing NPC mode where he stands in the corner waiting for you to talk to him. Like
24 investigation.
I just rolled a 23.
I only
Nice.
got an 18.
Um,
Wow.
So you find all sorts of different gizmos and gizgats and all sorts of electric things and such and fancy microwaves and cool stuff. You also find a lot of different schematics for different like prototype robot like machines that are not hit the line yet, that he's still working on. You find a little kind of arrowhead type thing, like a little, you not even really sure what it does, but it looks like kind of like an arrowhead, and it's about the size of one, and it's flat, and it's sitting on the table, and it's looked like it has a bunch of wiring in it, and like it's very small, like very tidy work that he needs to do with like small tools. And there's little like kind of notes about it and drawings of like where to basically like, it looks like it needs to be like worn or something. So it's like where to put it on your body or whatever. And it says focus. And that's like in the working title.
Can I have this?
Roll persuasion.
Not half freaking bad. 21.
21. Let me roll his. I think actually, my little handsome boy, I think you might have gotten something here. But let me double check what the modifier is.
For persuasion, the modifier is charisma.
Yeah, and I'm just seeing his wisdom. He looks at you, and he smirks, and he's like, he could never get
that thing to work quite right. I don't see why not.
Okay, thank you. And I grab the paperwork that goes along with it.
Yeah. So at a later point, you could probably have Mykos or yourself look at it and
Mm-hmm.
tinker with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So,
I kind of want
Is
to.
that the only thing?
Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead. No, go
I
ahead.
kind of want to just roll to see if there's a matching teleporter button that like looks like the one that Quinn had. See if like there's one
Go
that's
ahead
working.
Go ahead and roll.
Would that be investigation?
Yeah, I would
Okay.
say. Because you're specifically looking for it.
That would be a 12.
A 12. A 12, a 12, a 12. Okay, so you don't find like that specific remote. But you do. This is what happens. You are walking around and you trip
Oh no.
over something. And kind of you trip and you catch yourself on something. And you don't know how you didn't see before. But there is a built like archway. Like what you guys saw in the lab.
Okay.
What they were working on. You can investigate further or what have you, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I will do that. Better roll this time. 16.
Okay, 16. This seems to be a non-functioning transportation device. Because you see, there's been transporters for eons. Growing up, there's been magical teleporters like that cities have used to be like, oh well, I want to go over there, and they just pop into a portal and pop into that next city or whatever. But this looks like he is specifically trying to build that same thing, but with tech.
I see.
Yeah.
Mr. Beaks, I probably already know the answer to this question. We are aware that Crisp Mooneybags built in a system of, how would you call them? Preventative measures with escalating responses to various threats. And
Yes.
we know a little bit about just how far those escalating responses went. But I'm wondering, how high do you know that they go?
How high? How high do you know?
We're aware of a mechanical snake.
The snake. The snacko, as he called it. Yes.
Go ahead and roll an insight on him.
Can we all do it?
The Snoop Dogg with Willie Nelson.
Yeah, go
New
ahead.
dice. 19 minus 1. 18.
Plus 2.
Heck yeah.
Plus 2. Dirty 20.
Nice.
For the first time ever, or this whole time being with him, you see right through him. Because I rolled a nat 1.
Ooh.
And he has like this look of, you can instantly tell where he's just like, oh, so they didn't get that very far on the list. Of saying that, wow, okay, so it's just like basically like you didn't hit even the extreme parts of the list of the countermeasures. Who's like, Snacko, I'm not too sure. Perhaps who knows how much he's done. I think he's only done a couple more levels I don't even know about.
I just thought I'd ask.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
Have you lied to me?
Have I lied to you?
And have I lied to you?
What are you getting at, young master?
Because, I'm not trying to be rude or anything like that, but I feel like you're hiding something from me. And hiding's not very nice.
Hiding. Well, young one.
And he kind of bends over. He's like,
There are certain things in this world are better known, not known, by certain people. Even if they're your butler.
So it's super scary stuff.
That is my guess.
Okay.
That is all I know. I have not lied to you. All I can say is there are many, many countermeasures he has. And a lot of those are at work that he has come up with those. And again, he does not bring his work home. At least to discuss it with me.
Ash asks, do you have the time? I actually have an engagement that I have to attend later on this evening.
yeah, what time is it? I'm gonna roll a thingy-blob. It is, so the meeting I think was scheduled for midnight, I think. It is currently, like, this whole thing, it's like 10 p.m.
Okay.
So you have time to, like, head back and, like,
Yeah.
go to bed. Like,
Well,
Yeah.
I appreciate all your time, Mr. Beaks. You've been really nice to me and my friends. And, you're very wise, I can tell. So you know that even though he's your friend, sometimes we have to protect friends from themselves, right?
Of course.
Well, if you ever feel like that's happening, you recognize my face, right?
I never forget her face.
and he, like, gets really close to you, like, face to face, like, like an inch from you, Quinn.
Ash just is kind of looking at that like,
He goes, well, you know who I am.
Yes.
You see my face.
Yes, didn't.
And if you ever need help with your friend because he can't protect himself, you come find me, okay?
Oh, believe me, you four have been the most help I have seen from anybody from a long time, and the most competent. You know, intelligence doesn't just mean knowing how to mix chemicals.
Ash just kind of looks at Mycos and is like,
It doesn't?
Yeah, that's right.
Fair point. I shall bid you a fair and healthy night.
Yeah.
Before we leave, I do retrieve my
As
weapons.
Oh yes, of course. He walks you out and gives you your weapons.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Ash is also going to say, like, kind of like bow and just be like, I just want you to understand I wasn't necessarily going to try and steal something, but when you asked me if I was going to try to steal something, I have to live by my word.
he puts a hand on your back. And he's like,
I understand. I do. And you must understand my caution. Do you not?
Agreed. No, I do, 100%. I just mean no ill will.
Yes.
Also, do you have any food allergies?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Cool.
You know what? Hold on a second. I'm sorry, I just lied to you. I just realized. I just remembered. I have a horrible seafood allergy. I have not prepared it for years because of it.
That's unfortunate.
Why do you ask?
I want to send you cookies.
Oh, I love cookies.
Okay. And Quinn
This
scurries
is-
his little self off, just like, good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Farewell, Mr. Beaks.
So you guys now leave the mansion of Chris Mooneybags, leaving Mr. Beak there, leaving the lab, and yeah, so you guys start making your way back to your humble hideout.
Aboo.
Mykos is looking at that
Yeah.
flat arrowhead thing, and he's like getting itchy, just thinking like, oh.
So Akusta pulls
I can't wait to get a multimeter and see what all of these circuits do.
Akusta pulls out her letters and says to Mykos, I still need to find a mailbox to deliver these in, so I'll catch up with you guys later. Can you let them know?
You don't need any help, do you?
Oh no, this is fine. I can
Okay.
make it back on my own.
Okay.
So yeah, Kusa, you go and split off. It is now dark. It's very dark. Vengeance wishing.
Where did she go?
Vengeance is hiding around each corner. You do not know when it's about to strike. When I'm about to strike,
Post
I'm
office.
everywhere.
It was post office.
Oh,
Yeah, post office.
okay. Yeah, I saw her writing the letters earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently she's got people to write to.
Good
Right.
for her, man. Good for her.
People who care
People
about
care
her.
about her.
What?
And she cares about what?
Mykos, that's how normal people are supposed to be.
If we're playing law of averages, no, it ain't.
I'll take this back. This is what normal people aspire to. How's that?
I'll take it.
Quinn at this point is in like a black spy suit and flips the hood up. He goes, I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Quinn.
Just a 14-year-old 3-foot gnome. I'm like, imagine that you're running through the street with your arms out like a plane.
No, I'm full on Naruto running. Yes.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah,
arms
Naruto.
back,
I am vengeance. And then you trip over a cobblestone.
100%. Actually, Levi, I purposely trip over a cobblestone.
Just for the lulz.
No.
Why?
Because anyone who sees my face, sees anything of a wanted poster, sees anything of anything that shows that this was some mastermind, this was some person who broke into somewhere, they're going to think that little weirdo who tripped over cobblestone and fell and is a buffoon? No.
Smart.
The whole Clark Kent.
Quinn's antics are 100%. He's a child. But deep secretly in his mind is no one will believe that a nerdy, stupid child would do these things.
Very nice.
Smart kid.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so Akusta, we're gonna. The night is winding down, and you guys, the three of you, make it back to the Forever Snowfall, while Akusta went to the post office to deliver her fancy letters with her quill written. And yeah, so for you, Ash, yes, you have a quill?
Wow.
No, it's a fountain pen.
A fountain pen, sorry. Ash, yeah, you're noticing that it's getting closer to the time where you need to make your meetup.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna say, hey, Mykos, Quinn, everybody, I gotta go out for a minute. I'll be back, and just kind of flip my hood up and walk out.
I don't want to speak for Luke or anything, but I imagine like as soon as like Akus is gone, Ash is gone, just eye contact, and simultaneously we both pull out a set of Tinker's tools. And I'm like,
I'm holding up the arrowhead to Michael's like, if this is really cool and matches someone in the party, I'll give it to someone. I just wanted something cool.
clear off my desktop, throw that thing down, get to work.
Yeah, so it's like it's the size of like it can fit in your hand. Like, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna start. Ooh, I pulled a muscle in my back just moving my office chair. Oh God,
is this what it's like to get old? I knew a sneeze was coming on, and I had to like fix my sitting position so that I knew I wouldn't hurt my back.
Throw your back out.
But Levi's like 17. You shouldn't be talking like that.
My back, I'm a old 23.
Well, there, Shunny.
Yeah, well, there, Shunny. Let me take out my dentures and take a look at you.
Okay. So we are going to start with Akusta. This is not the right file. That's the right file. So, Akusta, you are going to the post office, right?
No. I'm going to the sweatshop.
Gasp!
Scandal!
Akusta not doing what she said she was gonna do? Who could expect it?
I know. Lies and deceit upon the ranks of friendship. So yeah, you go to the sweatshop and you read the letter, and it says, "Meet me by the alley," or "Meet me in the alley by the sweatshop." It is now around 11:55. The moon is out high. That's the only sort of light that you can see in this alley. There's lights on the street and such, but in this alley, that's the moon is the only thing that lights anything. There's shadows in this dark alley. The streets are quiet. You can hear some footsteps randomly once in a while, people walking by, walking home. Some women trying to get paid, and you hear a figure move in the shadows, and it slowly moves up into the moonlight, and it is a brown wolf. He looks at you and turns around and starts walking away.
I follow the wolf.
You follow the wolf down into another alley where there's a little bit more light and a better view of the factory inside. And the factory's not running at the moment. Work is ended for the day. And you see the wolf start to transform. And it transforms into the werewolf you know as Raknar. And he looks at you.
So, you decided to come.
Akusta says, I got your letter.
I wanted to speak with you without the others involved.
They don't know I'm here.
It fit in quite nicely. Now, you said you could help our cause.
Sure.
How would you help?
So I understand that you have a thing against technology. And I would like to understand your position better.
My position.
I want to know exactly where you're coming from.
You see that factory down there?
Yeah.
What are they making in that factory?
Clothes, I imagine.
Clothes? What's on the side of the building?
You see a sign that says Reform Incorporated.
I see. So this has some connection to Reform. I am not quite seeing it. Could you help me out here?
Frankly, to put it plain, technology is a sin. Mooneybags, he is giving people power who don't deserve it. And he's making people, innocents, even kids, do his dirty work for him. The tech that he makes, that he has these children make, allows any dumbass to have power. Those who don't deserve it. Those who don't know how to handle it. See, we were born the way we are. I was born like this. You were born the way you are. Trying to recreate or make that in a test tube is foolish and disrespectful to the natural order of things.
I see. So it's very much about a person's birthright and the natural order is what I'm gathering from you. Is that about accurate?
You catch on.
All right. I see. So, here's a question for you. What's the harm in seeking more power that may be beyond your reach?
If that power, there's nothing wrong with learning. The problem is forcing and not getting the power that is naturally comes to you. You see what they're doing down there. What's the next thing? Sure, they make a lamp. They make a box that shows images, shows movies. Next thing, they're injecting you with things. Trying to create a monster. Trying to recreate the next evolution where it doesn't belong.
Have you seen evidence of this happening so far?
He looks at you and he taps the jewel that's on his chest with his fingernail.
I am what you call, or what they call, an experiment.
Mooneybags did this to you? Someone under his power, under his influence did this to you?
That.
I see.
They will never do that to anyone else again.
I see. I definitely object to the experimentation on innocence, and I presume
They lie. They lie to those innocents. They give people false hope. They tell you that you are going to be special. They tell you you are going to make the world a better place. But what ends up happening is people can't even look at you anymore. I was born a man. I was born to sometimes, when the time is right, to become this. But now, I don't even know what my real face looks like.
Akusta looks at him without fear and says, I see. Here's what I can do. The goal to eliminate technology as a whole, I don't believe that is a realistic goal. And I can definitely understand your pain of, being promised one thing, but the reality is very, very different. I would know about that as well. So, here's my thought. I can help you expose Mooneybags for what he's doing. I can help you get justice. And, if there's something that we can do to help you get better, then I will definitely help you. If you would allow me to have my friends assist me, then more power to it. More power to you, more power to us. And she just kind of grins with that last statement.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion.
Okay. 17.
17. I hate your rolls. He looks at you, thinking, and he smirks. And there's a second where you see a glimmer of hope or what resembles it in his eyes. And he says, "It's much more than that. See, what we're doing is beyond you, beyond me, beyond all of us. It is the inevitable. It is someone's birthright. It is my master's birthright."
Akusta says, "Who is your master?"
He smirks. Go ahead and roll another persuasion.
I get advantage on charisma rolls. That's a 10.
Yeah, no. Like,
I don't give up everything on the first date.
Oh, so this is a date then? And Akusta smiles genuinely.
A blush rises to her cheek.
hold on. You see Raknar, his furry cheeks blush just a little bit. Just a little bit. And
You are quite clever. That is why I've taken a shining to you. As you seem capable and reasonable, and you see the world the way it actually is. You are not easily manipulated. Now, I want you to have this.
And he hands you a speaking stone. and he says, Don't go crazy on the minutes. They're prepaid. Just, but my number's in there. Don't try to call out of state or long distance. It costs way too much, and on my salary.
Lo and behold, T-Mobile is going to take down the revolution.
So, Akusta says, "Is this some sort of joke? Have you wondered why I haven't said one word aloud? Is this something that I can really use? I feel like you're insulting me."
I mean, if you can text. There's a keyboard right there.
All right, thank you. I've just never seen one of these. Bit of a country bumpkin, as you might be able to tell.
Ah, yes. I see. Well, I trust you with this.
Okay.
And by the way, don't let anyone know you have this.
Akusa says, No problem. Now, I can understand you not wanting to tell me who your master is on our, first private encounter. I respect.
Mm.
Shit, I forgot where I was going with this.
For the first time, Akusta speaks out loud. Fuck!
God damn it.
I'm resisting everything in my body to keep from metagaming and tell you
all
my
right
questions.
So basically, I say to him, I'm not doing this necessarily altruistically. I said to you that I want more power, and I don't really care for organizational power. I'm happy to serve in a consulting role, as it were. So what can you offer me in terms of power? Magical power, as it were.
Magical power. If you help me, my employer, my boss, is very, very powerful, and he can show you things no one can ever replicate. You can learn from him, but first, you gotta start somewhere, honey.
Akusta says, what do you want?
Your friends have been causing quite the trouble. I mean, it's taken every bit of me not to rip your throat out when I saw you, because you ruined our plans to raise this city from the ashes.
Oh, that little attack? How was I supposed to know that that was you? And how was I not supposed to defend myself? What good am I to you dead from your own attack? So, please don't hold that against me.
I like you. I can respect a warrior. I can respect a fighter. That was just a taste, after all. That wasn't even an appetizer for what he has in store for everyone. For us. And for you. I've already mentioned you to him.
Okay.
He, may I say, is intrigued. But you gotta earn a meeting.
Sure. Well,
So, what I need you to do,
yes, I'm listening.
keep me informed about what your party of little ragtag group at Forever Snowfall, keep me informed of what they're doing.
Okay.
Because the more unchecked, unwarranted, unknown puzzle pieces there are, the more it affects our plans.
I see. Well, I just have one request for now. And I take this with a grain of salt because I know you don't have the final say in everything. But I'm not going to turn on my party. I still have some use for them, as you can probably imagine. I'm not going to sell them out until I've gotten what I need from them. So, please keep that in mind. I won't be any use to you in selling them out, but I can keep you informed of our plans.
A true tactician. That is all I ask. Because how can you get what you want when you haven't gotten everything?
Exactly.
But be wary. Do not grow attached. Or if you grow too attached, I am not afraid to pull the trigger for you.
Akusta looks into his eyes and says, "You know my party. Why would I become so attached?"
Very true, they are a bunch of idiots.
Yeah. Especially that Mycos.
Is that the one that shot me? Because that guy especially is an idiot. I mean, you guys had like no health, no potions, no spells, nothing, and he just shot me. What?
Akusta snickers and says, "I haven't figured him out yet either, so give me some time with all of them and I'll figure them out." But yeah, I'm, like I said, don't expect any big favors on the sellout front.
Also, Mycos wasn't the one who pulled the trigger
No.
and shot him?
No.
And you didn't correct him? Great.
But the thing is, the thing is though, he knows what Ash looks like. Ash is the one that fired the. He just, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like, well, until we meet again, I guess.
So Akusta says, "You'll be hearing from me soon."
I hope so.
And he winks and like pats you on the head, and then walks away.
Akusta rushes back to the Forever Snowfall, and she is just like freaking out, like, "What have I done?" So, yeah. So she goes back to Forever Snowfall now.
Good. Now we cut back to the other secret meeting that's being taking place. To the roguey boy.
Hood up.
Hood up. Hood up. Which one is it? Not that one.
Caught you making trouble in my neighborhood.
I got one little fight. My mom got scared. She said, "Moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air." I was a full cap. Anyway, I can get weight. I know. Are you kidding me? Yes, I grew up watching 90s sitcoms, and I'm rapping Will Smith. Yes.
I don't think
Have you heard Will Smith?
I've ever
Will Smith's
seen
new
an episode
stuff?
of Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
Me neither.
I had to show Cheyenne at least one episode or a couple episodes because she hadn't either. Anyway. Okay. I gotta drink some water because of that voice. Alrighty. So Ash Ketchup.
Yes.
Asher. I take it you need to meet somebody, a person by the name of V, at midnight at the Dancing Wizard.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are your ways of getting there?
So, Ash would definitely stick to side streets and alleyways to kind of like meander his way there, just because, he's Ash. And he would, kind of see all the local ruffians and kind of just like can kind of see them coming and just like hides in the shadows until they pass by and just like basically maneuvers his way through the shadows until he gets to where he wants to go. And when he finds the establishment, he's going to find some windows somewhere and just kind of look in and see if who he's looking for is there, while kind of like maintaining like observation around him.
So before you get to the restaurant or the bar, the tavern, while you're ducking into side streets and you see ruffians or whatever, go ahead and roll a perception check on them ruffians.
That is a 16.
16. Okay. You dodge out of the way, and as one of the quote unquote ruffians is walking by, you notice it's Jacob.
All right. I'm going to keep quiet and just kind of like log that in the memory banks.
Alrighty. Now you get to the tavern that is called the Dancing Wizard. Drunkle here. And you see the neon sign over the tavern that shows a drow wizard in a fur coat, shirtless, dancing with a sword. And they locally call it the DW. Now you walk in. This is not in the nice part of town at all.
Why do they always pick this kind of a place?
Exactly. There's, just all sorts of stuff going on. And yeah, you look... Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's a really bad bard singing. And toss a coin to your witcher. And you look in the window, trying to find who you're looking for, and you notice the normal routine of just women and men flirting with each other, or trying to get paid or whatever. And you see in the corner somebody doing a similar move to you. Sitting in the corner with their hood up, acting stealthy. But this is a bigger figure. And from the note, the initial that you saw on the note, by the way, was written in Thieves' Cant. The initial was V. And you recognize him as Vern, your pal, or at least acquaintance, the closest thing that you have to a pal in this line of work. And he's a giant bugbear. And he's just sitting there in the corner by himself, waiting.
All right. I will enter the establishment and kind of head over that way.
All right, so you make your way over, and you sit across from him, and he has the cloak over his eyes, and he doesn't say anything for a while.
Hey, Vern. What's up? And so Ash will just kind of like take the coaster up from underneath Vern's cup and just go like right into Vern's face.
Yeah, even when they're like, ah! And he's like, I'm awake, and he like has a dagger out. He's like, it's like, what the heck? Oh. And then he sees you, and he immediately is like, Asher, my boy! I've been worried, sick.
Shh.
Oh, right.
What's up, dude?
Dude, no one. What's up with you? No one's heard anything from you since you disappeared. Like, you were in. What happened on the job? Where's? And he just looks around. And is like, "Where's the orb?"
Dude, it's been crazy. You have no idea. So.
Okay.
I did not get the orb. It's still in what's-his-face's apartment.
No, it's not.
What?
No, it's not. It's gone. People think that you stole it or something, and you didn't give it back to the client.
I was in the middle of the job, and all of a sudden, I got, like, static shocked and teleported here. I have no idea what happened.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You were in the middle of a high-profile job, and you just got teleported out of there, and you don't know where the artifact is. You don't know where the Oh my god.
I've been stuck here.
You've been stuck here. Do you know what that word? Of course you don't ask questions. I know you don't like I know you don't like being a part of our crew. I know you don't like being in our organization cuz you don't want to be part of anything. But you took this job, and now the people are looking at our organization, and there's going to be some people coming for you.
So, pause for a second. Outside of character, I cannot remember if Ash actually stole the orb or not.
So you got the orb,
okay,
and you had it in your hands, and then when you teleported and you landed, it wasn't there.
Okay, all right, okay. I couldn't remember exactly. My response would have been the same either way, but like,
I had to go back and listen as well. I was like, what happened to it?
Yeah, no, my response would have been the same either way, but like, it's like, hey man, I can't help what happened, and to be honest, whoever set that job up screwed me and screwed our organization. That was supposed to be a clean house and a clean grab. The minute I started to take that orb, 10 guards jumped in on me. They knew we were coming.
Wow.
They knew. It was set up.
Okay.
I figured this was a great way for me to get out of Dodge for a minute. Anyways, like, ooh, I got transported 100 miles away, and now I'm like doing some other crap with these other crazy people.
Yeah, well, I mean, okay, well, the client thinks that you ran off with it. People are talking and such, but Okay. Do you know what the orb is, at least? Did you read the file that...
No.
Oh, my... Dude. Okay. I'm going to be honest. I mean, it's better that you didn't. I'm just saying that orb was a powerful item. It let's just say if it falls into the wrong hands, it can hurt a large group of people.
Okay, so I had the thing in my hands, and then all of a sudden I got zapped here, and it was no longer in my hands.
Okay, you got zapped here. And it was in your hands. Who do you know who zapped you? Do you know anything of that sort?
Yeah. It was this lady who, like, were staying in her bar, and, like, the people that she knows needed help in, like, overthrowing the mayor or something here. And so we're kind of trying to help out with that. Like, it seems like a bunch of geopolitical garbage that I'm wading through. But basically it feels like this whole city is a powder keg, and I want to get out. Yeah.
I know this place is about to blow at any second. I'm freaked out even just sitting in this bar. Okay. Do you know what type of teleportation it was?
Mechanical, technological. It was not magical.
Non-magical.
And it transported 3 other people from different areas to the same point at the same time.
Mechanical teleportation.
Yeah. I know. That's what I thought too. It's crazy.
It's crazy. Go ahead and roll insight, Ash.
Oof. That is not great. That is a 7.
A 7. Go ahead and roll that again with advantage because you're kind of talking it out with Vern.
Yeah. 15.
15. Okay. So, in that moment, you realize mechanical technology. You don't know much about it, but from what Micos has been talking, from everybody, what's been going on, technology can be corrupted or, in other words, hacked.
Mm-hmm.
So you come to the conclusion maybe that somebody could have hacked the teleportation.
I wonder if somebody could, like, mess with something like that to change it. Like, you know how sometimes if you get a spell wrong, it'll do something you didn't expect it to? What if somebody did something to their mechanical bullcrap that did the same kind of thing, where it made a bad move or something?
Like, okay, so what you're saying is maybe somebody yanked the teleportation and, like, pulled the orb out of the teleporter or something, out of, like, redirected it or something?
I mean, if you were, well, you know, because the way the magic works, it's like the whole thing gets transported all at once, but the way that the mechanical stuff works, I don't know if it works the same way. It could be in different bits and pieces. Who knows? It could be, like, I don't know anything about this stuff, so who knows? But, you know, somebody could have changed something, you know, like wizards. Like, you know, I'm an arcane trickster. I read all this crap out of books. I don't know. There could be some wizard that comes up with some counter spell to, like, steal your out of your hands when you're getting transported. Who knows if they can't do the same thing with a freaking technology?
Yeah, with a freaking technology. Okay, why don't we do some research? You do your own research. I'll do my own thing. We can, with the 3 other people, can they help you with this at all? Because you're gonna need it, dude.
God, you're gonna make me ask Micos for
Who?
Oh, it's just this most arrogant a-hole you've ever met. But he is really good with machines and technology.
Is he more arrogant than you are angsty?
Yes.
Oh God.
I know.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I don't want.
The only thing that makes it worse is that he is as good as he thinks he is.
Like my grandpappy. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly like your grandpappy. And so, yeah, imagine dealing with your grandpappy every day. That's what I'm dealing with.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
100%.
Get another round. And
Thank you.
Gets you a drink.
Thank you.
And yeah, so the bartender gives you another round.
So it's
Kshing. Yeah. And so you end with that conversation. With that conversation with Vern, you catch up a little bit more. Yeah.
Hey Vern.
And
Vern, just a quick moment. Can you get word to my family that I'm alive and okay?
Yeah. Well, yeah, if I knew who your family was, you never told us.
Oh, shut up. You know who they are.
Yeah, I know who
That's
they are.
right. So just let them know that I'm alive and I'm okay and I don't need anything.
You roll an insight check.
That's a 12.
He 100% does not know who your family is.
Man. Okay, never mind. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it'll work out. And he then gets up from the booth and he just kind of pats you on the shoulder and he's like, keep in touch and yeah. Don't worry, don't get caught. But don't. And he gives you finger guns and walks away.
As he's leaving, Ash kind of leans back in his chair and goes, "Don't let him leave without paying."
Damn it! He tosses a couple copper to the bartender. That is where we'll end our session. So, thank you so much for listening. Wasn't as exciting, but we got some major plot that we got in there. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been Mixus. I've been your drunkle. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time, where we will probably go to the King's Castle. Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.